compression be on the bottom? So you think it's going to go up there or go down?
It'll go down.
So your compression would be on top, wouldn't it? Could it go side to side? Because it grows in circles, you see. If I bend it like this, where does that pressure go back to? It goes back to its attachment point, doesn't it? So where's the best place to cut a limb like that? Out there or back here? Yeah. So that might, so in storm situations, it just eliminates a lot of chances of getting twisted and stuck or something moving towards you. So if you start and work towards the front to the tip. So if you look at that, first of all, you're straddled over this. And what happens if something moves quick? What's your reaction? Huh?
Go that way?
You probably not go that far, because what's going to happen if that thing all of a sudden shot over a little bit, you got your leg between there, what's going to happen? You're probably going to sit down with a running chainsaw, aren't you? Yeah. So you want to think about, you don't ever want to really straddle anything. You don't want to be between anything. Now there's times you're going to probably be standing up on top of wood sometimes, but bottom line is you want to make sure you got a platform set. When you go up and you start to work with a saw, you want your feet solid and you want to be able to move, because you have to anticipate movement. If you notice on that one, it's not going down, is it? No. What's it doing? It's going up. And now you pull the saw back thinking, oh, it's going to catch me, and you left wood over here now, so it's doing what? It's starting to come to this side. And so that's a good chance if you'd have got through it a little bit and it goes this way, now it's going to kind of cause you to jump over a log. And the other one is, that one could be pushing too, couldn't it? Yep. Look at this going out like this. Storm happens and you got a piece of equipment, excavator, backhoe, grade awl, something. First thing you do, you want to open the road. So what do? You go out there and you take the blade and you put it in the right position, you push everything to the side of the road, roll it over, push it over, and then should I maybe get into? I might back up a little bit. I might extend out a little bit to cut that last bit of fiber so that I have the ability to move out of the way.
Would also be a good you could.
So you pulled your saw back a little bit. Think about, that's what I was talking about. People start reaching and feeling. If you know that your compression is on top and your tension is on the bottom, you just cut in all the way underneath and cut in until what? You bypass the top cut. Not till something falls. You just bypass the top cut and then it's done, right? But when you start feeling it, you start pulling back, and so you've got probably some fiber over here on this side, and so it's starting to go that direction.
So should I finish cutting up underneath?
Well, you can't go back in the top because the top is what? Pinch. That's your pinch side. So you have to go all the way underneath and cut up, and when it gets close to where you're bypassing that top cut down, then slow down just a little bit. And all you have to do is kick it or roll it over or machine touch it, and it's completely done. Now there's times I'm gonna cut all the way through it too, because right there you could have basically just started up from the bottom and continued all the way up, couldn't you? Yeah. No big deal. Once you see where the pressures are, you kind of see them, then you know what's going to happen. But until that, that's where that plan and that offset cut can help you out a lot. But like I say, I have had those to where when you finish up that last bit of fiber, all of a sudden that thing shoots over 2 or 3 feet because of the bow, the bend. So you want to always be careful and always make sure that you're clear. You never stand between stuff. What's the next one? Yeah, we got to clear some brush. And then you think it's going to go up or down. Is that hanging in the air right there, or is it on the ground out here? Kind of push on that right there and see what it does. Yeah. So it's on the ground?
On that branch.
Yeah, but I mean, in other words, if you want it to fall up there, well, you got to recut it again, or you want to fall it out of your way where it's out of your way.
Let it fall out
So where are you going to notch it to? Where do you want it to go?
that way.
All right. So if you notch it that way and you back cut it and you leave a little hinge on there, that's where it's going to go, isn't it?
Push it notch it over here.
All right, let's see what happens. Pretty good, huh? But that limb did support some down there, didn't it? Was that limb attached to that piece or the other one? But let's look at it. Why would the compression be on the bottom? See, the compression is the side that's what? It's going to pinch your saw. So that's going to close. So if I've got an arm that's way out here like this, if I cut, it's going down this way, isn't it? So that means in this case, that's the same scenario. So if I put a notch back here or an undercut back here, when I overcut, that piece isn't going up, is it? It's going down. So my compression is on the bottom. And so I cut the compression side first in all cases, whether I'm using a straight cut, an offset cut, a mismatch, a hinge, a notch. I'm going to put it on the bottom first and then go to the top side, the tension side. But on the tongue and groove, you want to still think about compression and tension. In this case, compression on the bottom, tension on top. But you're going to put a bore cut through the middle. And then you're going to offset either to the right side of that curve or the left side and do the undercut about an inch or so over. Then go to the top, same angle as your bore cut through, and cut down till that bypasses. And that leaves that tongue in the groove joint.
Go in like this.
No, vertical. Yeah. So what part of the tip are you going to start with? Remember we did it on that standing block down there. What part do you start with? Start with the upper corner or the bottom corner? Huh?
Bottom corner.
Bottom corner, okay. All right, think about it. Come around to this side. Come around to this side. Stand behind, left leg behind the tree. Left. All right, take your bottom cut out. All right. Now your good side over here. Change your hands now. Left hand on the front, right hand on the top. How much hinge you gonna leave? How much hinge you gonna leave?
About an inch.
All right, leave an inch now. Back up. Back up. Back up. Well, it's Tuesday. We're still in Massachusetts. And we're going to be at Jaycock's Christmas tree farm today. We've got a group of firemen from the area here. And we're going to be working around the farm here somewhere. I don't know exactly where. But we got a beautiful area here that we're going to be around. We made it in here last night. Everything looks good, and we're down at Duxbury, Massachusetts.
We're on the video, no.
Forgot I had my camera. Hey, it's Wednesday. We're out on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. We're Dennis Township. Be working here in this area today. We'll workshop for MIIA, and weather's going to be much better than yesterday. It was pretty bad yesterday. It definitely was a little muddy when we got ready to leave.
And I want to put a wedge in?
It has forward lean, doesn't it? You said a couple feet?
Yeah.
No need, no reason for a wedge.
No? Just come from the back and...
Just cover back, or you can continue back through the hole, come out. No, don't go back to the compression. It's closing on top. It's opening on the bottom. Just continue your cut up. But stand back behind that tree. Chris, think about, don't do anything with that chainsaw, like take your foot and stick up in front of it until the chain stops turning, because it's going to get away from you and you're going to get cut. And those plants are expensive, you know.
Got it.
Don't worry about your leg. I mean, you can go to the emergency room, get that fixed. But those pants, you know, they'll be gone.
All right.
Right?
Then I'll have to explain to Tom Martin where it's
Hear what you're saying. So you're saying, do you think there's more compression underneath?
I don't know. What do you think?
More tension on top.
What do you think? If I've got, let's look at this like it's a seesaw, teeter-totter. What do you want to call it? If you got a little person on that end and a big person on this end, who's going up?
The little person.
Jeff, get on this end.
I could take some off of here. I could take some off.
Wow. But there's no reason to take it off. I mean, we need this, right? We have to have a plan. And so if you look out here and you say, reason why I'm going to think about cutting right there is for some reason. And so I look at this, well, that's sticking out farther than it on that end. So when I cut that, that end's going up, isn't it?
This end will go up.
Yeah. Now, it may not go up till you drop that other weight off, but it's going to go up eventually.
Yeah.
So where's your compression going to be? That end over there may take it down to begin with, but when you cut it loose, what's it going to do?
My compression's underneath.
So if you didn't want that piece to drop off, look at this now. You undercut here, and then you come to this side, your right side, and cut down till it just bypasses. Don't go any farther than the bypass. Then you come down here and wiggle that. It'll fall apart. You don't even have to be there. Right? There's three. That one, and that one. No, stay parallel to the one you just made. Yeah. Parallel, no. Ho! Now you're moving again. Look at your chain. When you're moving, that chain's still going. If you trip, what, you going to get sliced and diced like a 2 o'clock infomercial. Right? Look at that now. Look at that. Look. You go back there, got a little bit of leverage, you can kick that thing right apart. Woo! Watch your feet. So which end went down? That end, didn't it?
Back inside.
Yeah. No. Or that one. But you might have to jump quick. Last day today in Massachusetts. We're in Southbridge, Massachusetts. Be working with the DPW here. It's gonna be beautiful weather. It's gonna be a great day.
Offset cut.
Yeah, but you can't jump over that one, can you?
No.
What would be a good cut on that one? Notch and hinge. Because you could notch on the bottom on that one, cut down from the top, just let that end go all the way down, touch, then cut it off. You got to watch though, because that one could do what?
Yeah, that one.
It could roll. It could roll. Might be in that case, I might go up to that one first, but really that's just as sticky, isn't it? So a notch underneath and overcut on that one, let that end touch, then cut it off, and you'll be back to this side of it in case it rolls.
Yeah, 'cause that's just gonna go down.
So chance is that one could roll, so that puts you back behind that position. Now, one thing I've noticed is that if you try to make that big V up in there, it's hard to make it match, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the thing to do is just slide up. You don't even have to take the bottom piece out on that. But then when you start cutting down, you'll see it still works. Piece comes down, it'll usually crush that down a little bit, and then it just comes right off. And it pushes it away so it won't grab your saw. Works really good. Next cut. You don't think it's gonna move?
I know this is gonna move. I'm not really sure about that one.
So if you offset there, then as long as you got it far enough apart where it doesn't pop apart, then you could come down here and probably shake it loose, couldn't you? Huh? So that's a possibility. What would be another alternative?
You do a hinge.
A hinge?
Just like the same one.
Yeah.
Then
I think either one of them will work there. Where's your compression side, top or bottom?
it's on the bottom.
Bottom.
So yeah, you could do the same cut for that one as that one.
Or you could do the tongue and groove. Bore cut through, cut the bottom offset, then the top, and then come down here and shake it apart. Make sure you offset enough so it doesn't pop apart with you while you're cutting.
You have to offset from the top on the right and then the left on the bottom.
No, same side.
I think it's up to
Same
Oh
side.
yeah, but you'd have to offset to the right so it goes up.
No, either way, it'll still pull out of the tongue. But when you use a tongue and groove, you bore cut through, and both your cuts, top and bottom, are on the same side of the bore cut. If you alternate it, it doesn't work.
All you do is hinge cut. If you get that separation, if you move down and wiggle it, it's going to roll down the slot.
That's gonna move down quick.
Yeah, but you'll be down here when you wiggle it. You got to make sure that your hinge holds till you get in a position to cut it loose. How about the other side of the log? The biggest thing is once you get close to the bottom of that, you got to anticipate what?
It's gonna move.
Movement. It's going to move. So you got to have your tail in the right position.
That one's going to go that way because it's hung up on the tree down there.
Yeah, if it falls off, it's going down the other way.
I was gonna kind of spin when it's gonna come that way.
Well, the first thing is if it starts to move, what are you going to do? You going to stand there and watch it, or are you going to back up? Huh?
I'm gonna move.
All right, where are you going to back up to?
Probably gonna go this way to try and get over the
You going to
log.
jump over that log?
I can't go behind it because I know it's gonna go that way. Shoot.
I mean, your biggest thing is if you're right there next to it, something could happen fast. If you're back here, then you got a couple seconds to think about getting over the log or something, huh?
Throw these branches off.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe this way is probably the safest way to go.
What do you think? 30 right here? 30's off?
Nope. Nope. Oh! All right, back up. Back up. So what do we say? When it moves, you do what?
Move.
You don't stand there and watch. This thing's going to hit me. It's going to hit me. I know it's going to hit me, right? It will hit you if you just stand there because you don't know how long it's going to hold. but you did exactly the correct cut, just like you planned you were going to do. You started to cut the top and then the bottom, and then you thought, what is your plan? And you did exactly your plan finally, right? I kept you agitated, but you kept your plan. So now how are you going to get it to break loose?
Well, I'll push on it because I don't know which way it's going to roll.
Come down here.
Yeah, but see, yeah, if you go up there and push on it, how are you going to get away from it?
It's gonna roll. It could roll this way.
But if you go down there at the end and push it, I don't know if I'd leave my saw up there either if it rolls all the way down that log.
I get a little more cut. There's a lot of weight there. Before I walk over there.
Well, the thing to do is to look at your cuts first and see if they're bypassed. If the cuts are bypassed, then it's actually cut. And you set it up exactly like you said we're going to do, is either a piece of equipment touch it or you shake it apart. You got to look at the other side too, not just this side, because if you're not parallel to your first cuts, you're going to have fiber that's holding.
When you mean bypass?
All right, if you cut up here and you cut down, you have to go past the cut that you came up with.
Oh, okay.
You could cut that on down, huh? Cut it on down through your bore cut. No, through your bore cut. Your bore cut at the bottom. Yeah, you're up over the ground now. Just cut the bottom off.
Yeah, once you cut that off, it'll kind of be free floating.
Yes.
But yeah, so we'll knock that one. Yeah, same thing, compression on top of it. One step.
But I want to know, if we have to go 1, 2, 3, okay.
Let's do this. Put it back in the face notch and recheck your line. Up against the back. Up against the back. Flip it up. All the way against the face notch. Put it all the way back in the back corner. Got it? Okay, there. Chain brake off. There you go. Quick.
I cut off the notch.
You cut your hinge off, didn't you?
Yeah.
But if you cut, you're at the.
I thought it was too far over.
You're at the V of the notch there, right? Weren't you? You see that, pull that chain really tight on that one. You see how far it's hanging underneath there, boss? My poor little crankshaft is going, oh! It was laying right there. And you know, see, you got that big V in there. What did it do? It split out, didn't it?
Yeah.
But if you think about here, you could take and just put a little slide notch underneath and do exactly as that big one did, and plus it'll match. See, the reason why it didn't match is because you got a bypass back there. So if you just slide underneath, it'll do the same thing as a big opening. Same exact thing. And you don't have to try to match it. Just a little slide there. Just a little slide. Just lay it flat, 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 and just slide just a little bit, then undercut. Never. You're just gonna cut straight. You're gonna offset. You're gonna put a hinge and notch. What are you gonna do?
I don't really think I want to do a hinge and a notch just to this other tree.
Okay.
So I think I'm just going to cut straight up and then offset.
Okay.
Like that.
So you see what happened there? Why did it stop? Oh, it's not?
Fibers are holding it.
We cut straight in, and so somewhere there's probably a little bit of fiber in there, but basically when that bottom closes, it locks, right? It was cut.
Now, wouldn't this been ideal for a tongue and groove right now?
Well, you could
Because
just like,
you could have got out of the way and shook it.
yeah, it could have. Or I mean, basically, if you instead of making a straight cut in this way, if you just slide it this way, it works the same, and that way it won't close. It continues its movement down.
If I had done what?
Just a slide notch up underneath. See, if you go this way, the kerf closes.
Okay.
If you go this way, it actually goes past it.
So instead of doing like a hinge notch,
Yeah.
you could just do.
How this is real quick. It's scaring me. Oh, you didn't have it offset over here on the side. It's sliding. Go 1, 2, 4. See, look at your. Is that a drop start? It was, wasn't it? Whoa. See what happens every time he goes in, he starts to slow down. When you slow down, what does it start to do? It starts to grab. Did it bypass? Is it bypassed? You have to make sure, you know, a lot of times I see guys, especially on bigger pieces of wood, it goes underneath and then they start pulling the saw back. If you pull the saw back, you got wood left over in that corner. It won't come apart. It's amazing how strong it is.
Pretty strong.
Don't fall over the hill now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, let's try this.
Sorry about that.
So it didn't move much there, did it?
No.
But it started to close with you there. So it was doing what? You got a pivot here, don't you?
Yeah, that's
Tops.
what I was trying to find.
Yeah, yeah. But that's all you got to do. Just that little slide, and it works just like a 90-degree face notch. And because that one won't work because you got it bypassed. You look at that other corner over there. You got it up in there. It can't work like a notch in the hinge. And that's what happened on that one. You see, when he came in, he come over and he tried to make it match, and so it had what, about an inch in between there, didn't it? Just flat spot. And that's where the fiber split out between the two kerfs that you tried to make. And so it doesn't work. So it's much easier, much faster just to slide it and be done with it.